So that's 3 on the trot for Arsenal. Another huge win, this time against West Brom away, 4-0. Before I get to the match, I would just want to wish everyone a happy new year. Wish you guys all the best in 2021, and hopefully it's better than 2020. When the game sheets first came out, the starting 11, I didn't really have any issues with it. Martinelli, I thought, needed a rest just because he's been playing a lot since he came back, and it's important to ease him in. Emile Smith-Rowe again in the starting lineup, who was great again today. Laka and Aubameyang both in the starting lineup as well, which was good to see. Something that stood out to me in the first half was the play of Bellerin and Saka on the right side. I thought that they linked up very well, and when you look on the other side, the left side, the same thing with Aubameyang and Tierney. I thought that they had a really good read for each other, and they were able to connect on some passes and creating some chances going forward. The first goal was wonderful from Tierney. You know, he spun furlong a couple times and he just placed the ball into the right corner, perfectly placed, just so Johnston couldn't get to it. Outstanding goal. Well deserved. I think going forward, we were attacking for most of the half, and West Brom didn't really generate too much. So I thought the goal was well deserved, and he came at a right time. The second goal was just your typical Arsenal goal that we've been used to from the Arsene Wenger era, pretty much, with Lacazette, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Saka linking up for the goal. In terms of the West Brom positioning, sure, maybe some players were a little bit off, but I think the passing, the precision of the passing, and the speed at which the ball was kind of whipped around, I don't know if that they could have, even if they were positioned well, that they could have cut off that goal, because it was just very well placed, and it was great to see, the Hale End boys linking up in the goal with Emile Smith-Rowe to Saka, and Saka was incredible again today. Probably shout for man of the match between him and Tierney. They're both great going forward. Tierney was great defending when he had to. His passing was really good today, and I thought that they both played extremely well. The 2 goals for Laka, again, were huge. He's been really good going forward in the last 3 or 4 matches. He's the striker up top that Ortega picked, and I don't think you can really argue with that, since he is the informed striker right now. And another 2 goals will just have his confidence going up. I assume that there will be interest in Lacazette at the transfer window is open now, but there's talks about Atletico Madrid, and they were in the Lacazette rumors even last year, and maybe even the year before that. So they've kind of always liked them, and with Diego Costa going out, Lacazette could be a player that goes there. If you can tie down Balogun, and I know he's still a very young player, maybe you do let Lacazette go, but that's, we'll save that for another episode. The 2 issues that I'm a little bit worried about going forward is Aubameyang's form. He could have scored in the first half, where he was just kind of late on a Saka cross, and there was another chance that he probably could have headed, and it would have at least tested Johnston. But he's just been very off. I mean, he scored the 1 goal against Southampton, and he hasn't been that great since. Like I said earlier, him and Tierney on the left side, I thought that they linked up very well together. And the question is now, if you keep starting Aubameyang on the left flank or the right flank, or it doesn't really matter which one, pretty much any position other than striker, then you're probably taking either Emile Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, or Saka out of the lineup, which I don't think is very fair, because they've been really good in the 4 or 5 matches. Martinelli's been good since he came back from injury. Emile Smith-Rowe has been outstanding since he's been in the starting 11. Saka's been probably the player of the season thus far. So you can't really take him out either. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. I think next match, again, Lacazette has to start at the top. Arteta obviously didn't use Elneny today. He was very poor the last 2 matches. I thought Ceballos had a better game today, and I thought Xhaka was really good with his passing as well. But when you take into consideration the weather that they had and the snow and all that stuff, I thought it was a very well played match, very professional. Scoring 4 goals is also big, kind of to get the confidence up, and just scored a little bit of goals. We usually don't score that many this season. I believe this is the second time under Arteta that we've scored 4 more. So hopefully the confidence is there. And going forward, no team has won 4 matches in a row in the Premier League this season, which is a very interesting stat. As far as I know, no one still has. I know those were the stats about a week ago. So if we win the next one, that's 4. And who would have thought that a team that was just sitting 15th a week and a half ago would have 4 wins? So that's something to focus on as well. It's been a very interesting and weird Premier League this season, you know, with Sheffield United being bottom of the table with 1 point, and then stuff like that. But I like the way Arsenal looked today. The defensive play, it's really hard to judge because West Brom didn't have much going forward. But when Arsenal was tested, I think Holding and Pablo Mari did very well. Hopefully nothing wrong with Bellerin, who was taken off at a bit after half. You know, he did have a yellow card already, and you know, with the weather conditions, maybe Arteta just took him off as a precaution so he doesn't pick up his second yellow. I thought Maitland-Niles did a very good job when he came on. So yeah, we roll from here, and it looked like everyone was playing in the snow other than Saka. He was just 100% foot on the gas, and he was played very well today. And it's between him and Tierney for man of the match. But yeah, hopefully we could get number 4 next match, and we go from here.